Hey everyone, welcome to Animation Domination. I am 22 Tiger Dude and I am starting it off with The Simpsons. Alright, so this episode is about when these new neighbors from Portland named Terrence and Emily, who Homer befriends with, they're like a new family. The mom's the judge, Marge, on not breastfeeding their child, and Bart gets into a fight with Emily's son T-Rex and Terrence. By the way, T-Rex is voiced by Patton Oswalt, so that's awesome. And that's pretty much all you need to know about the episode. This episode, it was disappointing. I love The Simpsons. You all know how much I love The Simpsons based on my Animation Domination. I love The Simpsons no matter what. But this was a weak episode. Not saying it's awful, because it's not an awful episode, but it's just got problems and just things they could have done to make the episode so much more better, like for real. I just wasn't too impressed with how the episode turned out to be. It's got an okay storyline. The neighbors, they're fine. But the episode barely offered any laughs in my opinion. I got very, very bored by the episode. A few times to the point where I almost fell asleep, actually. That rarely happens to me in the Simpsons episode. That's rare. So, I wasn't too interested in the storyline. It's all fine and good. I enjoyed the climax of the episode and all. So, it was enjoyable. It's fine. It's an episode that I could watch one time and easily just forget about it for the rest of my life. Because, man, this is not an episode I'm going to remember forever and ever. Definitely, if you're a Simpsons fan, maybe you'll like it. I'm a Simpsons fan, but I just couldn't get into the episode. Could have been a whole lot more better. Maybe a better pacing. Some scenes they could have changed to make it better, and maybe humor. I feel like they didn't add a lot of humor to the episode, and that's probably why they made it boring. Okay, so I'm going to give the Simpsons episode a 6 out of 10. It's okay at best, but I'm going to definitely forget about it and not remember it again, so. Okay, Bob's Burgers. Okay, so what I have to say. Gene tries to break up with his new girlfriend named Courtney after the family finds her annoying, which, oh my gosh, she is annoying. When he tries to, however, he finds out that her dad writes jingles and he could possibly launch his own career. And John Michael Higgins was actually Courtney's dad, and I enjoyed John Michael Higgins' voice guest star in this episode. Okay, so as I said before, I don't hate on Bob's Burgers. I just don't think it's the greatest or funniest show on television. It is a watchable show, unlike when it first started out. God, that was awful. But now it's getting better. But this episode, however, this was not a good episode, okay? I'm just going to be straightforward with you all. It was not a good episode, in my opinion. The episode is so mediocre. It is so annoying. And the storyline, I could barely get past to the storyline. The execution felt weak, the pacing felt weird and odd, and just the situations that happen, and the show continues to do its running gags that it usually does, which is always characters screaming, characters blurting out whatever random stuff to make it funny or original, but it just falls flat and it doesn't even make you laugh at all. And this episode, it was just nowhere good. I guess I laughed a few times in this episode, and there were a few parts I liked, but It's just some mediocre episode for the most part, and I just wasn't really impressed with this episode. But this season had a fair amount of enjoyable episodes too. But this episode, it just ain't one of them. And you guys could disagree with me all you want, because we all have our different opinions, but I just couldn't get into this episode. It's annoying, it's stupid, it's ridiculous. It just could have been a whole lot better. Even if I'm not a fan of the show, I know that they could have at least some way made it better. But of course, it just didn't work. Not an awful episode, but it's just not an episode that I'm going to remember, and an episode I really don't want to remember. I'm going to give this episode a 5.5 out of 10. Now I'm here to review Family Guy. Funny how the episode is called Friends Without Benefits, and the girl who voices Meg Griffin is her, Mila Kunis, and she did a movie called Friends with Benefits with Justin Timberlake. My God. No wonder she won Sexiest Woman Alive. Because she is hot, hot, hot. That combination of hotness and cuteness. Talented too. Holy crap. Although that seemed unnecessary, but I just thought I'd point it out anyways. Okay, so this Family Guy episode is about when Meg finds out that her crush is gay. For Chris. Alright, so we all know we've seen those kind of storylines before. But anyways, I just go with the flow. So anyways, I actually really enjoyed this Family Guy episode. It's just jokes that really crack you up, and storyline was really good, and although I found this extremely predictable, and I didn't even read the plot for this when I was getting ready to watch the episode, I was just watching it with an open mind. But man, did I find it predictable. But I still went with the flow with this episode. It's not perfect per se, but I did find it highly enjoyable. I thought it was very funny on most parts, while some parts, yeah, it was a miss. So the episode does have its problems, and while I thought the whole gay thing was going to be handled horribly, it was actually watchable. I thought it would be awkward, but it wasn't really awkward. Well, at least not that much. It's got a nice execution. It's got a well-written storyline. Very good jokes for the most part. And really, it's Family Guy. It's a very good time. If you're a Family Guy fan, well, you're going to most likely enjoy this episode. If you hate Family Guy now, then you probably won't like this episode. But for me, it's highly watchable, highly enjoyable, and highly funny. So I give this Family Guy episode an 8.5 out of 10. Okay, lastly is American Dad. And this episode's about when Stan and Francine, they were going to go out and enjoy their night, as husband and wife. And they leave Steve in charge of Haley, of babysitting Haley. But Haley says, why can't she be in charge of Steve? And Stan and Francine pointed out it was because of all the past mistakes she made, and she's very irresponsible. And if you guys saw the past American Dad episodes, then yeah, we all know Haley is very irresponsible. But then Haley said, oh, why can't I watch over him, all that stuff. So Stan and Francine, they don't let her, but they decided to play along with it, see it as a joke too, and just jokingly go ahead, well, not jokingly, I would go ahead and just say reluctantly, let her just go babysit and all that, when they actually wanted to see the babysit, but they just did, for the hell of it. So this American Dad episode, I really enjoyed. This is the most enjoyable episode of the whole night. I really, really enjoyed this episode of American Dad. It was hilarious. I laughed at so many damn parts in this episode like you wouldn't believe it. And coming to this episode, I thought it was going to be average, but it was so damn hilarious, and it's just one of the better episodes I've seen this season. My goodness. And the most hilarious ones, too. I laughed almost non-stop. There were a couple of parts that were a miss in my opinion, and a couple of parts was like, yeah, that wasn't necessary. But for the majority of this episode, I was so impressed on how much it made me laugh, on how brilliant the storyline was going, all the crazy shenanigans that went throughout this whole episode. It was just random, it was crazy, and I don't know what to say. This was just a hilarious American Dad episode. And it also has Sarah Michelle Gellar and Charlie Day guest starring in these episodes. And I thought they were pretty good. So, definitely if you're an American Dad fan, go ahead and watch this episode. Me, you know me. I'm not big of a fan of American Dad. I'm more on Family Guy's side, to be honest. But man, did this episode really, really impress me. I am so impressed on how much I really enjoyed this American Dad episode. Go ahead and check it out. It will make you laugh from start to finish. Just well written all around. Nice executions. Very good pacings. None of the scenes felt rushed. It was right where it needed to be. It's stuff I want to see in American Dad a little more often. And I give this episode a 9.5 out of 10. Definitely takes the trophy for best and most enjoyable premiere of the night. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed my reviews. I am 22 Tiger Dude. Go ahead and please subscribe to my channel if you're new here. It really helps. Go ahead and like and share this video. And then go ahead and comment below on each of the Animation Domination premieres for the night. And just share your honest opinions. I love reading your guys' opinions. Whether I agree or whether you may agree or disagree with me, I still love to read you guys' opinions. So please go ahead and do that. And don't forget that I will always have Tiger Power.